We will now move on to the Maryland House of Delegates, District 9A. There are 2 seats for this office. You can vote for up to 2 candidates. In the Republican primary, there are 2 candidates. Each candidate may take up to 4 minutes to make an opening statement. We'll begin with Trent Kittleman.
Good morning, or afternoon as the case may be. I'm Delegate Trent Kittleman. I was elected to the House of Delegates in 2014, but I've been involved in politics for almost 50 years. I am a lawyer by trade. I worked for Marriott International and a firm in DC. I also, as a private consultant, rewrote the rules and regulations of the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, which I mentioned because it's very helpful when you're looking at legislation to know how legislation and regulations work. I have loved the job that I'm doing down there. I am extremely proud to be working with Governor Larry Hogan. Larry Hogan, along with County Executive Alan Kittleman, I think are among the finest examples of politicians that you ever might want to see. They both have a tremendous amount of integrity. I worked for Governor Ehrlich, who was also a very good governor. At that point, I was the Deputy Secretary of Transportation and ran the Transportation Authority. Since I've been in the legislature with Governor Ehrlich, he has managed to do a very great deal of things very good for Maryland. He is a people person. People like him. And for a Republican to have the kind of popularity numbers that he does is amazing. But it's because he really cares about people and he understands how to work with the other side. He understands that compromise is the backbone of this government. That doesn't mean he relinquishes any of our underlying principles, but he does know how to get along and work with Democrats to do some very good things in a number of different areas. Just his achievements with the economy in Maryland have been astounding. In his 4 years, we have had no new taxes, toll and fee relief totaling $700 million, added nearly 130 million new jobs. He submitted 4 straight years of proposed structurally sound budgets, provided record funding for schools, created our national recognized workforce development program, and we've gone from losing 100,000 jobs to gaining nearly 130,000, leading to Maryland's lowest unemployment rate in a decade. Politics is a team sport, and so is governing. Down in Annapolis, we have 141 delegates. 50 of those are Republicans and 91 are Democrats. I say this because it's important to understand that we do not have a two-party system here in Maryland. Two-party system is critical, whether you are Republicans or Democrats. There needs to be a balance. When my husband was elected in 1982, there were 16 Republicans, so we are increasing the balance. I think we've managed to do a great deal between Governor Hogan and the team of Republicans who are down there, and we will continue to do as much as we can for the people of Maryland. One of my own passions is education. I don't serve in that committee, but I have a number of things that I've been working on. I do serve on the Judiciary Committee, being a lawyer, and I love my committee, partly because our issues are not necessarily philosophically partisan, and it's nice to be able to get along with the Democrats and to vote together at times. I have a lot more to say, but I urge you to go to my website and hopefully you can find out everything you need to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kittleman. We'll now hear from Warren Miller.
Good morning. I'd like to start by thanking the League of Women Voters and the voters of Western Howard and South Carroll for giving me the opportunity to represent them in the Maryland House of Delegates. I want to start by saying I'm proud to be a fiscal conservative. I've signed the Americans for Taxpayer Reform Taxpayer Protection Pledge. I promised my voters that I won't vote for higher taxes. Kept that pledge while I've been in office. I currently serve on the House Economic Matters Committee. We deal with most of the business issues in the state of Maryland. I've been given a 100% pro-business voting record by the Maryland Business for Responsive Government Group, which is a pro-business group. I've worked extensively on Maryland Route 32. We've had a number of fatalities on that road. It's a dangerous road. I'm happy to say that Governor Hogan and the state of Maryland are investing something like $250 million on expanding Maryland Route 32 and fixing a very dangerous bridge over Route 32. At some point, I would like to see that road go from Maryland 108 clear up to Maryland 26 in Eldersburg. It's something important we need to do for our constituents. Our constituents don't benefit as much from mass transit as others. So roads are what they rely on to get to work. And as the economy improves, the way we're going to promote jobs in our district is to have good, reliable transportation. This year and last year, I sponsored a bill to eliminate sanctuary cities in Maryland. I think it's a huge problem. It's promoted gangs like MS-13, which pose an incredible risk to our citizens. We deserve to have a safe place to live. And with those gangs active in various areas in the state, it does not make it a safe environment. I'm happy to say I've been endorsed by the Maryland Farm Bureau. And lastly, I love, the best part of the job is constituent service. When I have constituents that have problems with the state or the county, and they call my office, I love to help them out with those problems. Typically, they get a better result than they would if they had to go it alone. And this is due to my steadfast support of them when they have those problems. The last issue I want to bring up, I was instrumental in resolving an issue with Howard County Public Schools with maintenance and with the former superintendent. We had numerous problems with the superintendent that sort of had lost her way on what she was supposed to be doing. She was totally ignoring the people she was supposed to serve. So it was very active in a bipartisan manner. Delegate Frank Turner and I had a town hall at this community college. We had over 200 constituents show up and testify that they weren't being listened to by the school system. I was happy to help in overturning the former school board. And I think it's very important that we have good schools. We have schools that are maintained adequately for our students, and that we do not have people in the school system that think it's okay to abuse people with lawsuits. We had a parent with a child with a disability that had been abused by the school superintendent and was actually given sanctions for trying to get public information. So I was very happy to be involved with that, with many others in Howard County. And I would like to continue in this role as delegate for the next 4 years, and I ask for your vote. You can visit my website at millerfordelegate.com. Thank you.
Thank you both for your statements.